everyone. This is Rebecca with Red True Crime. So, we're going to start with the Kenneka Jenkins case. She went from this to this. September 10th, 2017, 19-year-old girl named Kenneka Jenkins is found frozen solid inside a walk-in freezer at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Rosemont, Illinois. She's half naked, one shoe missing, bruises on her body, and the official ruling is accident. But within hours, Facebook Live videos, leaked photos, and frantic text messages exploded online, and millions of people become convinced this was no accident. Was Kenneka drugged and murdered, sold, thrown into that freezer by someone she knew? Or did a perfect storm of alcohol, prescription pill, and a broken hotel security system take her life? This is the complete, unfiltered story of Kenneka Jenkins. Hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. What's up, Red True Crime fam? This is Rebecca, and today we are diving deep into one of the most requested cases in the channel's history. And if you're new here, smash that subscribe button and the bell so you never miss a video. And a quick content warning, this case involves the death of a teenager and some graphic descriptions. So let's go. So who was Kenneka Jenkins? Well, Kenneka Lachey Jenkins was born May 27th, 1998 in Chicago's West Side. Everyone called her Neek. She was the only child of Teresa Martin, a single mom who had been battling breast cancer. And Neek was the one who took her mom to chemo, cooked for her, held her hand, and friends described her as quiet, sweet, a little shy, but always smiling. She had just landed her first real job at a nursing home and was excited about turning 20 the following year. By all counts, she did not have a history of heavy drinking or drug use. Now, the night, Friday, September 8th into Saturday, September 9th, 2017, at 11:30 p.m., Neek borrows her mom's 2014 Hyundai Sonata and heads to the Crown Plaza O'Hare in Rosemont. And that would be this place right here, a suburb about 30 minutes away. She's going to a private room party on the 9th floor, room 926. Party was organized by people she kind of knew from high school, and including a girl named Monica McCoy and a guy named Iran Thomas. And what's important is the room was booked with a stolen credit card linked to a Chicago gang member. The hotel never checked ID, and that's a red flag number one. Okay. Neek arrives alone. Now, there's Facebook Live videos, and they're from the inside of the room that showed a crowded party, loud music, red cups, people smoking. Neek appears in the background of one video for just a few seconds and dancing a little, but she's already looks off, like there's something else going on. Witnesses later say she took at least 2 big cups of cognac mixed with something else. Now, around 3 a.m., and this is in the last hour that she was seen alive, friends say Neek is too drunk to stand straight. They walk her downstairs to the lobby because she's falling over. So I believe that is where we're at right here. Okay. They sit her in a corner. They go back upstairs to grab her phone and car keys, which makes no sense why they didn't grab that in the first place. and when they come back down, she's gone. Now, the text messages from that moment are chilling. "Where is Kenneka? I can't find her. Y'all lost that girl." Now, they search the hotel for maybe 20 minutes, then just leave. Now, the surveillance footage, is something, people are kind of arguing about the timeline. But at 3:21 a.m., motion activated hallway cameras catch Neek stumbling out of an elevator on a lower level. So that's right about here. And she's barefoot, missing one shoe and sock, swaying hard. And I saw the video, and we've got some of that right here. So you can take your own little.
Revealing more about a woman found dead in a hotel freezer. CBS, when this was just the kitchen, she walked into the freezer. That is why her family is not just released to us a few hours ago.
So here we go.
This video shows Kenneka Jenkins walking into the kitchen, but we never see her entering the freezer. And tonight, that is why her family is not satisfied with the theory that she walked into the freezer on her own.
You see she's kind of stumbling.
Surveillance video shows Kenneka Jenkins walking with friends at the Crown Plaza Hotel early Saturday morning. We see her a few hours later by herself. At one point, she stumbles out of an elevator. Later, she repeatedly hits the wall walking down this hallway. Another camera catches her running into a stairwell and then catching her fall. Video time codes appear to show Kenneka roaming the hotel for over an hour.
She's trying to find her way.
Okay. So you see that. She's obviously inebriated and something is going on there. And it's a sad situation. I mean, but let's get back to this. So she wanders through the empty corridors, pushes through a staff-only kitchen door, and disappears around a corner heading towards the freezer. That's the last time anyone sees her alive on camera. There's no footage of her actually walking into the freezer because the camera inside had supposedly been broken since August. Now, the walk-in freezer is in an abandoned kitchen that was leased to a restaurant group but hadn't been used in months. So that's an area that I guess they just didn't secure, which makes no sense. The doors are heavy plywood with padlocks available, but they were never locked. Temperature inside is from 0 to -10 degrees Fahrenheit. The latch on the inside has a big white release button that even a drunk person can push. Let me make that clear. Those freezers have a mechanism on the inside, so in case the door closes in on you, you can push a button and get out. It's big. I'm used to them being red, but they're saying this one's white, so, we'll go there. But that button becomes a huge point of contention later in this case. Now, Teresa Martin wakes up, and that is this lady right here. That's her mother. Sees her car and daughter missing, starts blowing up Neek's phone. Friends finally tell her what happened. She calls the hotel. Front desk says they'll look into it. Yeah, I wouldn't take that. No, not me. Teresa drives to the Crown Plaza around 1 a.m. on Sunday. Security tells her, and I quote, she's probably just drunk somewhere with a boy, wait 24 hours, which no parent wants to hear. Police are called at 2:30 in the morning, but treated as a low priority missing teen. Takes 11 more hours of searching before a hotel manager finally opens that freezer again at 12:30 a.m. Monday and finds Neek's body frozen stiff in the corner. Now, I have a picture of her body. I will not be showing that on here because if you want to see it bad enough, it's all over. Just Google it. It's all over the place. But the part where you just see her leg, that's as far as I'm going to go with that. And there you go. There's that. So you see it. No sock on, no shoe. Yeah, back to her mother. Okay. So quick break. So yeah, they go in there and they see that she's in the corner, frozen stiff. And she's found lying on her side. Jeans still on, but her white tank top is pushed up and her bra is exposed. One shoe completely gone. Now there is a picture of inside the freezer where the shoe is kind of off to the side. So it's in there with her. Oh God. So small abrasions on her ankle and foot. And a tiny cut on her finger. No major trauma, no defensive wounds. And then the toxicology report comes back on October 6th. Blood alcohol was 0.112, so she was illegally drunk, which you could see that by her walking the video. And therapeutic levels of topiramate, Topamax, as an anti-seizure migraine pill that she has had 0 prescriptions for. Now, I will say this, I myself have been on topiramate, Topamax. I've taken it. My son took it for seizures. I know some people take it for weight loss. That's something else they just they prescribe for weight loss, but she didn't have a migraine history or seizure history, um, so no reason why she'd be taking that. But, no cocaine, no ecstasy, no date rape drugs are in her system. Cause of death, hypothermia, with alcohol and topiramate as contributing factors. So they've said manner of the issue, an accident. Manner of death, accident. But this is where things get weird. Topiramate makes you dizzy, confused, and dramatically increases with alcohol's effects, which is true. They tell you when you take any type of medication for migraines or anti-seizure medication, alcohol is definitely not something you want to take with that because it will enhance the effects. It'll lower the effect of the drug for why it's taken, but the side effects like the dizziness, the tired, fatigue and all that, it will increase that. So topiramate makes you dizzy and confused and dramatically increases alcohol's effects, which I just said. Now, combined with cognac, it could absolutely knock someone out cold. But how did it get into her system? That's the question. The family says Neek never took it. Um, conspiracy theories immediately say her drink was spiked, which is a possibility. It's a party. It happens. Official answer, unknown source, possibly crushed and slipped in, but no proof. Within 48 hours, leaked photos of Neek's body hit Facebook. People zoom in and swear they hear her saying, "Help me," in the Facebook Live audio. They claim her body was moved, that her clothes were removed by an attacker, that the freezer button was broken. They say the hotel edited the surveillance footage. Activists compare it to Sandra Bland and demand federal investigation. Hashtag Justice for Kenneka trends worldwide. So let's go over the 5 myths real quick. You can hear her saying help. Audio experts simply say it's background party noise. Freezer button was broken. Photos and police videos show it working perfectly. Her body was posed. Paradoxical undressing is a documented hypothermia that symptom. So let me explain what that is. If you are freezing, this has been proven many a time. Hypothermia, when you're going through it, you have this thing where your mind thinks you're hot. You're freezing, your mind thinks you're hot. So you think you're on fire, you take your clothes off. That's what they call paradoxical undressing. And that is a documented hypothermia symptom. Another myth was she was sold for $200. Comes from a joke in the Facebook Live, not evidence. There was blood everywhere. The red you see in leaked photos is actually freezer burn. So those are the 5 things right there. December 2018. December 2018, the family files a $50 million negligence lawsuit against the hotel, the security company, and the restaurant that leased the kitchen. They claim the hotel should have had locked the freezer, which, if it's not being used, they should have locked it, should have shut down the illegal party, and should have found her faster on camera. All true. After 5 years of fighting, in December 2023, the case settles for just over $10 million, $6.4 million after attorney fees. The judge rules the hotel was negligent in security and search procedures, but there was no criminal intent. Now, why I'm talking about this case, why it's resurging. 2 years after the settlement, Neek's mom goes live on Facebook and drops a bomb. She says she was pressured into signing, that her lawyers told her she'd be getting nothing if she didn't, and that she still had no answers about how her daughter's missing phone, missing shoe, or how the topiramate got in her system. No answers to any of that. She ends with, "I want the truth, even if it hurts." So, official ruling has never changed. It's accidental death. No arrests have ever been made. All of Neek's friends were interviewed and cleared. The hotel changed its policies, added more cameras, and now locks unused kitchens. But for millions of people, especially in the Black community, the case remains a symbol of how quickly a missing Black girl can be dismissed. And that, I can say wholeheartedly, unfortunately happens more often than it should. It actually happens more often than it ever should. Nobody should get dismissed like that. One thing I can say, covering the cases I cover on this channel, predominantly Black, and I've been called out on that, saying, "Hey, you're a white person talking about the Black community and the Black cases." The reason I do that is because these cases are there are more of them and the most underreported, which is one reason why I cover them. But in this case, because her mother knew something was wrong, called the authorities, they dismissed it, saying she was just off with a boy, give it time, hotel wasn't concerned. All that they should have been looking into it immediately, but that's just my opinion. So, final thoughts. What do you think happened? What do I personally think happened? I mean, the room being booked with a stolen credit card, gang members running it. I mean, none of it looks good, but I saw the pictures of her body and the bruising on her body. She was banging against walls, bumping into stuff. I mean, all of it's reason for those bruises. She wasn't beaten up. The paradoxical undressing, is a known symptom of hypothermia. Um, from everything I saw, I think it's an unfortunate accident. I really do. I think she got in there, she panicked, she couldn't hit the button, or she didn't, she was so out of it. The downside is the topiramate. How did that get in her system? I think she was just spiked. I think that was something probably more than one person was spiked at that party. So, I believe Kenneka Jenkins got way too intoxicated, probably mixed with a pill that she didn't know was in her system, wandered off alone, and tragically walked into the freezer looking for a quiet place to sit down. I also believe the hotel's negligence and the police department's slow response turned a survivable mistake into a death sentence. And was there a cover up? I don't think so. Was there justice? Absolutely not. I think they need to find out who slipped her the drug. I think that's one thing they need to figure out, and I think that person needs to be charged and sent away because what they did led to her death. I do believe that. But I will say this, rest in peace, Kenneka. Should not have gone out this way. I feel for her mother because until she has answers to how she ended up in there, that woman will never have peace. So if this case broke your heart the way it broke mine, drop a purple heart emoji in the comments for Kenneka. And tell me down below, do you think it was 100% accident or is there still something we're missing? And if you haven't already subscribed, turn on post notifications. I'll see you in the next one. But please subscribe and stay safe out there. Red True Crime family. Peace. Good night, everybody.